Welcome to Series 1, Episode 3 of Building a Lighthouse. My name is Jamie, this is Jamie Makes, and in this episode, we're going to be building the coupling, which is going to attach to the tower of the lighthouse. It's going to allow us to attach and detach the motor mount, just in case we need to do any maintenance on the lighthouse. So, without further ado, let's get building. So now we head over to Fusion 360. We now see where the motor mount and the beacon fit into the tower. You can see the beacon spinning there. It'll spin at about that speed. It'll spin at 15 revolutions per minute. So now we begin to build a coupler. It's going to sit right under here, right underneath the motor mount, and it's going to interface between the tower and the motor mount. So we'll begin by making a small offset. So now we're going to extrude from the bottom of the legs down to the plate that we just made. You'll see that I extruded as a new body. This is because I don't want it to join to the wrong object. Now we're going to make the back, which is going to hold the standoffs for the threaded inserts. So here we're making a little shelf where our model can sit onto. You'll see that we'll extrude the shelf down, and then once we have it extruded down, I'll make a small chamfer on the outside. This is because when it's printing, the 3D printer can't really print into fresh air. That's called bridging. So if I allow for a slope, it means that the 3D printer gradually prints instead of trying to print out into thin air. Now we're going to combine the bodies, and what this will do is it'll cut the perfect hole for the interface to sit. And next we're going to make the two small ears, which are going to just help us with placement. All these will do is make sure that the orientation of the two parts are correct. Now we're going to make the standoffs for the threaded inserts. These threaded inserts are super handy. What it means is that we can attach and detach objects from our model several times without damaging the model. This is hopefully where we'll get to by the end of the video. We'll have made the interface which the motor mount sits onto. You can see that it's going to have threaded inserts, which mean that the motor mount is going to be able to be attached and detached off the model several times. And that will help if we need to replace any parts like the motor, the LED or the slip ring. So this is where the rest of the build that we made in the last video sits together. That's the strap for the motor, which keeps the motor in place. That's the motor. Next up we'll show the slip ring. That's the beacon, and lastly there's the pipe that will hold the wires. So that's where we'll hopefully get to by the end of the video. That's the build that we did in the last video and the build that we will be doing in this video, and how they fit together into the tower. You can see by this cross-section view that the two towers will hopefully thread together, and you can see there at the bottom of the threads where the two towers interface together. There's a slight chamfer at the end, and hopefully what that will stop is if any rain does come through where those towers meet, hopefully we'll just run off that chamfer. Now we're going to insert our threaded inserts. I love this press. I bought it on Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. It was one of those tools where before you buy it, you're not certain if it's actually worthwhile buying. But after you buy it, it just transforms all of your projects. It means that you can attach and detach things over and over again without doing any real damage. We're going to change now to the M3 sleeve, and we're going to put in the last two threaded inserts, and then we should be ready for assembly. So we've had a little bit of a failure. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but these M2 threaded inserts will not accept machine screws. I think it might have got some petri stuck in the threads, and that's what's stopping the machine screw from grabbing. These are A2 stainless steel, and that is brass, so these are harder than those. So I think when I was trying to thread it also, I might have destroyed some of the threads. But anyway, we've printed a new one. So unfortunately, that's the scrap part because obviously I can't get the threaded inserts out and those threaded inserts aren't going to work. So let's try again. Take two, as they say. This is the piece of airboard that we have soldered up. Now, I think I might shorten these leads, as I said earlier. So what we're going to do now, this is, as I said a little while ago, this is a moment of truth. So now we get to see if the pieces fit. So let's have a look, shall we? Hopefully this works. It hadn't obviously worked the last time, but I don't know, maybe the second time's the charm. Okay, I don't want to go too far, obviously enough, because I want to try and get the second machine screw in. Also, this could be awkward because it's very small and it's in a very small space. Okay, let's hope that this works. This is always one of the most terrifying points of a build because you're just hoping that all the measurements were correct and that everything's going to line up the way you want it to. Okay, so you can see that screw hasn't sat straight for me yet. As I said, these are A2 stainless steel and the inserts are brass, so I do need to be careful because the A2 stainless steel is obviously enough, it's tool grade steel, so it would destroy the brass if I over tightened it, or if let's say if I crossed the threads, if it inserted at an angle, it would destroy the inserts. So I am going to have to try to be careful, but thankfully that little circuit has fit. This is what we discussed before. So in the first video I would have shown you the diode. You see what I've done is I've stood the diode up vertically instead of horizontally across the board. This is just to save space so that I could fit it across two pins. And I've put a connector. This is the connector from where the battery. So realistically, when I'm actually putting this in, this turn was just to make sure that everything would fit in. When I'm fixing this kind of permanently, I'm going to put it the other way up because this will be the top of the tower and the bottom of this mount. And the wire is going to come in right here. I'm going to put a gasket, this gasket. These are really difficult to get in there. I've tried the trick with the fishing line to get them in there and heating them and whatnot, but they're really difficult. But I'll put this in off camera. It just goes in here, and then that will act as a seal. That's good and snug with the cable that comes up through here. So that will be a nice seal and hopefully stop any moisture from coming into the model. This part then will get glued onto the tower. You can see these little notches here. They're literally just to place it correctly onto the tower. So let's see if the motor mount will fit also. If this fits, then I can take this back off, turn it around and put it the right way on. But as I said before, that's not an issue anyway, because I do want to shorten these cables because they are a bit extreme. When I was doing the design, it seemed that this space would be kind of more than it was, so I left myself. It's always good practice to leave yourself with more cable than you need, because if you cut it down too short, connect it, and then find that it's too short, well, there's nothing you can do. Whereas in this case, they're a bit too long, so it will be easy to desolder these, cut them down, and then resolder them onto the Vera board. That won't be an issue at all. So if this motor mount fits here properly, then that's kind of it really. That's connected up, and working properly. It looks like this is good. Thankfully, because I had, to be fair, I did waste a little bit of time with the other mount earlier on. I did try to clear out these threads, and I tried everything I could think of to get this to work properly, but unfortunately it didn't work out for me, and I had to go back to the drawing board. I probably should have mentioned, you would have heard me say it there a moment ago. So the model will be made from PETG, which I personally find that on the Bamboo Labs P1S, it prints as basically as good as PLA, or as easily, I should say. It prints as easily as PLA, but it's suitable for outdoors. So it means that I can make models like this one, and I'm comfortable to leave it outdoors because I'm pretty sure you'd be aware that PLA, which is the most common material you'd print in a 3D printer, is not suitable for outdoors. So this is where we're at now. That's quite a success. So there's our beacon, there's our motor mount, there's the part that will be attached to the top of the tower. So my next step, I might film it and we'll do it in high speed or something like that. I'll get these shortened. I'll get this put back into this mount, and then we'll hook these up together. It won't be too much longer that we'll be able to actually hook this up to the circuit and see if it lights. But for now, we're looking good. So here we are, all soldered up, shortened down these cables, and I've attached it to, I don't know what this part is called yet, I haven't given it a name, interface, mount, whatever you want to call it. I've put in the rubber grommet. This was difficult, to say the least, to put in there, but it's in there now, it's ready to go. As I said, the cable coming from the solar panels and the battery and that outboard circuit is going to come in here, and it'll be nice and snug and sealed up. So now we'll attach the beacon. Now, one thing I need to take note of at this point is the orientation of the beacon. So obviously this pipe here, which holds the cables, is the back of the beacon, obviously enough. So I want that to be on the right hand leg of the mount. So just tidy everything up a little bit. Lay this here and get the machine screws in. So here we are, all screwed together. Now, let's see, make sure that everything wants to hook up properly. That's the LED. Here's the motor. So now, the motor and the LED are hooked up, and this is ready to get glued onto the tower. That's going to do it for this episode. I've really enjoyed building this, failures and all. So in the next episode, we're going to be using the part that failed on us, and we're going to make sure that all of our tolerances are correct. We'll 3D print the bottom of the tower, make sure this fits correctly, and then 3D print the top of the tower and make sure that the lamp room fits in correctly. So, wish me luck. We'll see you in the next episode.